The manhwa starts on a battlefield, where the Imperial army has lost their battle. Their leader, Princess Regina Alfare, the sole survivor who is completely wounded, wonders if this is the end for her. And the rebellion is led by none other than Hermann Ducal, her fiancé, and the Duke of Seulvei, who suggests Regina to surrender. Hearing this, Regina declares that despite her family lost the battle, she will never surrender. Pissed, Hermann quickly casts gravity pressure on her, offering to let her go alive if she gives up now. In response, Regina smirks and calls Hermann an imposter, suggesting him to kill her immediately, as if she lives, she will kill him. She then recalls that she is the last member of the Elias imperial family, because her father, the emperor, was assassinated by an unknown person. Plus, her younger brother, Theor, whom she considered a trash prince, became the puppet emperor overnight, and he was deceived by the actual controller, Hermann, who took advantage of her brother till he took his last breath. Enraged, Regina yells, asking why he wants to keep her alive after assassinating her whole family. At this, a hooded person steps forward, disclosing that Regina has a responsibility to watch the end of the Elias Empire. Observing this, she realizes that the hooded person is the alchemist of Hermann. She adds that the existence of the origin of alchemists was only uncovered after countless battles. Gritting her teeth in anger, she confirms that the alchemists were behind the assassination attempt on her father at her brother's birthday banquet. And that time, they thought the assassination attempt had failed, but they were mistaken, as there was a special poison on the assassin's knife. And the name of the poison was created using ancient magic, the witch's tear. The witches, who had disappeared long ago from the world, so there was no way for them to detect alchemy magic. Furious, Regina yells at the alchemist, inquiring if he was the culprit behind the assassination of her father and brother. Hearing this, the alchemist smiles and states that although she knows the truth, nothing will change. Whereas, Hermann orders his soldiers to seize Regina's sword and capture her alive immediately. Clenching her fist, Regina asks if he thinks she will just give up so easily. And by taking out a red necklace, she declares that she is going to rely on her heirloom, her last hope. And as the alchemist flinches heavily at the sight of the necklace, Regina teasingly asks if he knows the necklace's power. She extends the necklace forward, revealing that this is a memento of the first emperor of the Elias Empire, a necklace with a ruby that is said to grant a wish when the user sacrifices their life. And if it succeeds, she can escape this humiliating fate and alter her timeline through reincarnation. Moreover, in her new life, she is going to punish every culprit who killed her loved ones and destroyed her home. She wraps the necklace around her sword and quickly pierces it through her heart. Suddenly, the ruby starts to glow heavily, questioning if this is what she desires by sacrificing her life. Clenching the ruby tightly, Regina answers that she wants to fix this big mistake by reincarnating. The ruby inquires what mistake she committed. To this, she imagines her brother, Theor's face, and answers that she didn't lead him in the right direction. And if Theor hadn't changed and became a sucker and a puppet king, things would not have come to this, and she could have stayed with him even if he was a trash prince. Suddenly, Ruby responds to her regrets, stating it understands. Perplexed heavily, Regina questions who the entity is and why it is mimicking her brother's voice, at which the imagined brother delivers a smile, declaring that he will grant her wish. With this, the ruby begins to radiate heavily, causing the surrounding to immerse in complete white. From here, the scene shifts to somewhere inside a palace, where a servant named Yuna refers to a lady as Lady Regina, asking if she likes the tea and the cake. And she is actually Regina herself, who is taken aback, clearly wondering where the hell she is now. Suddenly, another servant named Selma inquires if Regina is sick or something. Hearing this, Regina silently glances at the servant for a while, and by lifting the cup, she assures the maids that she is all right and was just lost in thought. Taking a sip of the tea, Regina reflects that indeed the ruby granted her wish and sent her back to when she was 50. But before she can think further, her brother, Prince Theor, starts his tantrum outside Regina's bedroom. Sensing this, she takes a long sigh and commands Yuna to bring her weapon. At complying, Yuna hands over a weapon that looks like a customized baseball bat. Regina takes the bat and delivers a sinister smile, mentioning that she needs to teach her brother an unforgivable lesson. Dear viewers, apologies for the interruption. If you're genuinely enjoying the content on this channel, please consider hitting the subscribe icon with all notifications, since this little support of yours will help this creator continue delivering high-quality work to brighten your day. And take a moment at the end of the video to leave a comment, sharing your thoughts on the content. Your feedback means a lot. Now, let's not take up too much of your time and jump back into the story. The scene moves to a few years back, where Regina explains that her life was not very peaceful, as her frail mother gave birth to her young brother Theor, and then she closed her eyes for good. And her father, the emperor, couldn't step foot into the delivery room due to imperial law. Hence, he was unable to stay by the side of the wife he loved during her final moments. Plus, when he was unable to handle the guilt, he shouted at Regina and turned the blame on her for the death of his beloved wife, taking the cowardly way out. And despite that, he thought Theor was a blessing and didn't blame her brother, who had just been born, by killing her mother. The emperor then started to hate Regina and let all of Theor's wrong actions slide out of love. As a result, Theor grew up to be an infamous trash and sucker prince. On the other hand, when she turned 12, her father called her in his chamber for the first time. However, when she arrived there, she was taken aback at knowing that her father already prepared for her engagement. But when she tried to protest, he brushed off her words, declaring that they were no longer a father and a daughter, but an emperor and a princess. And the suitor was none other than the same rebel, Hermann Seulvei Ducal, the Duke of the Ducal family. And at that time, she had no choice but to accept the engagement to that bastard. As the time passed, Theor was sent to the academy where he continued acting trashy. Besides, on his way home, there was a big accident where his carriage flipped over into a lake. And even though he might have been the trash prince and the brother whom her dead mother had told her to protect, she still loved her little brother. Suddenly, the scene lands to the present, where Regina calls herself an idiot, reflecting that she was taken aback by Theor's sudden change of heart after the accident. But she was wrong, as he did a complete 180 flip overnight and showed his true self. Moreover, the night before Theor turned 17, her father, the emperor, met a sudden death. And without even time to mourn her father's death, Regina had to take the crown in place of her younger brother for a period. On top of that, Hermann, her fiancé and the bastard rebel, was entangled in rumors of having another woman rather than helping her. However, on the day Theor turned 18 and was having his coming-of-age ceremony, Hermann showed himself from nowhere and beheaded her brother in one blow. He then started an insurrection, declaring that the Elias Empire no longer existed. Determined, Regina reflects that she will prevent the assassination and insurrection this time. She wonders if a skilled tyrant is better than a sucker like her brother. Nevertheless, Regina's thoughts are interrupted by maid Selma, who comments that Regina seems to be in a good mood, at which Regina responds that she figured out a solution to a problem, which is why she is happy. Her attendant informs her that maid Selma had been worried because Regina seemed depressed. Hearing their concerns, Regina gloomily reflects that before she regressed and when the insurrection started, everyone threw away their lives for her. But this time, she will protect them from Hermann. Suddenly, Regina inquires if the maids do not know how one needs to take care of trash people. And as the maids do not answer, Regina declares that one just needs to become an even bigger trash, causing the maids to flinch heavily. She then adds that she is going to become trash who will be madly in love with someone. From here, the scene shifts to the dining table, where Theor rebukes the servants for bringing back the same dishes he hates the most. Observing this, Regina calmly reflects that in order to become an even bigger trash than her brother, she needs to observe his each and every uneducated action. Later, after observing Theor for the past few days, Regina has come up with her own conditions for becoming a trash. These includes, a trash like her brother only thinks and care about themselves. Second, trash does not care about any sort of aftermath for their actions. And the third, trash people are greedy to an extent that they take away others' belongings. Confused heavily, Regina wonders where the hell she is supposed to start. Suddenly, she remembers the alchemist's face and assumes that her brother's accident was definitely part of the alchemist's plan. She then glances at Selma and abruptly asks if she thinks she can accomplish anything if she wants. Scared, Selma responds that Regina had always done well with everything, therefore she can achieve anything. Meanwhile, Yuna timidly requests if she can ask something to Regina, and as Regina allows, Yuna begins to cry, questioning for what reason she is acting like this all of a sudden. Hearing this, Selma rebukes Yuna, shouting how she can say something like this to Regina. Selma then comes to Yuna's defense, begging Regina to forgive her, as she is just worried about her well-being. Noting Selma's plea, Regina assures them to calm down, as she will not do anything to Yuna. In fact, she is grateful that they are genuinely concerned about her safety. She reflects that she understands why these two acting this way, as they are the one who sacrificed their life protecting her. However, Regina's thoughts are interrupted by Theor's unannounced presence, who states that he heard she received something as a gift a few days ago. Theor then extends his hand and orders Regina to give it to him, asserting that everything she owns belongs to him. Regina delivers a smile teasingly and asks why Theor is becoming quite rude day by day. Clearly pissed, Theor angrily commands her to shut her mouth and hand it over. She still remains calm and inquires with pity expression where he learned such unclassy words. Enraged, Theor wonders why she is making him wait when she will eventually give it to him. He adds that firstly, she pretends to be kind while nagging him, but at the end, she is a worthless existence who cries and begs at his feet. And that's why he came here again, to show Regina her rightful place. Noting his reaction, Regina reflects that indeed he is the one who set the castle on fire before while intoxicated. She then adds the fourth characteristic of trash people, and that is, trash does what they want to. Further, referring to Theor as a trash prince, she mentions that every time she speaks with him, he seems to lose his temper. And with a provoking smile, she states that she guessed he would become a man to whom everyone will call a trash prince. Suddenly, she picks up the chair beside her and throws it with full force in Theor's direction, declaring that he can do whatever he wants. The scene then lands to the Emperor's chamber, where Regina is summoned for attacking Theor. With a serious expression, the Emperor asks if she really threw a chair at Theor, to which she responds with a sudden yes. And as the Emperor inquires why Regina did this, she glances at Theor and reflects that despite just throwing a chair at him, their father called them so quickly. Yet he had always denied her request for an audience and didn't pay attention to her during meals. With a conspiring demeanor, Regina reflects that with this opportunity, she will show that she has become an even bigger trash than Theor. Regina delivers a gentle smile and explains that there just happened to be a chair next to her, so she attacked him with it. As we wrap up today's segment, thank you for being with us until the very end. I'll be sharing fresh videos of this manga and exciting new series every weekend. Your support is invaluable, so please subscribe and hit the notification bell to stay updated. Your encouragement keeps the channel thriving, and I appreciate it immensely. Until next time, take care and goodbye.